Hello there guys, and welcome to this X-Plane 11 video. As promised, today we're going to be doing a full flight aboard the TBM 900 by Hot Start. We are going to be flying today from Catalina Island to Fresno, California. Our flight today is about an hour and 10 minutes from takeoff to landing, and we're going to be cruising at about 13,000 feet. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get things started. We're going to begin by loading some fuel into the aircraft. So we're going to go to the payload manager and we're going to click on the fuel here and set it to, we need about 144 gallons for the flight. So let's go ahead and come over here. I do want to show you something that's really cool. It's a small detail, but I thought it was really cool. Let me show you something here. So when you're adding fuel, you can see that the fuel cap is open, which is really cool. And once we're done with that, as you can see now, the fuel cap is closed, which I thought was really cool. Now another thing I have come to know that all the circuit breakers are actually modeled, which is very, very cool indeed. This aircraft is a study level simulation of the TBM 900. The registration number, by the way, is a fictitious registration number. It represents my date of birth, November 925 Vector Bravo. All right, so the fuel is set up and all the caps are removed. Let's go ahead and close the door. Let's go here and let's see here. All right, the door is closed and now we are ready to get things started. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the GPU. All right, let's go ahead and close the door. Perfect. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring electrical power to the aircraft. We don't need the panel lights at the moment, and we'll just give our Garmin devices a minute to initialize.
Blue 94, set the tow. Blue 94, hold the
Okay.
G172. Hold B172, Blue 94.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to first set up our flight plan. So let's make sure that the previous flight plan.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on menu here, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to fly I've done this flight already, so I'm going to go ahead and delete everything so I can show you guys how to actually enter the flight plan into this aircraft's FMS.
Pause system test. Okay.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to enter our next waypoint. We're going to fly direct to Sierra X-Ray Charlie. So we're going to enter Sierra X-Ray Charlie, and we're going to hit enter twice to accept that waypoint. And then we're going to fly direct to Tango Echo, and we're going to hit enter again. And finally, it's Fresno, which is Kilo Foxtrot Alpha Tango. And we're going to say enter. All right. So what we can do now, there is no SID for Catalina Island. We are going to be departing runway 4. So let's go ahead and enter the approach details for Fresno. And we're going to say procedure. First, we're going to begin with the arrival. We're going to say enter, and this is our star into Fresno, which is the Alta 8. And we're going to say enter and load, and we're going to click on procedure again, and we're going to select our approach, and we're going to say enter, and we are going to be landing today. We're going to do an ILS approach, runway 29er right at Fresno. Enter that, and we're going to use the Alta transition. All right, Alta transition, enter and load. All right, so the flight plan is ready now. And one nice thing I like about this FMS is as you scroll through the waypoints, it will actually show the actual waypoint here. As you can see here, this is the approach into Fresno. So I thought this was really cool. So let's set this back at Catalina Island here. And let's go ahead and grab the altimeter real quick. I'm just going to use the map here. And I'm going to grab the altimeter, Catalina, and the altimeter is 3007. So we'll set 3007. All right, that looks good to me. And let's see here. Everything else here is looking good. Comline is active. All right, so let's go ahead and set our altitude. Our altitude is 13,000 feet. You can either move the mouse left and right, or you can simply use the mouse wheel on your mouse to change the altitude. So we're just going to go ahead and set this to 13,000 feet. All right, altitude is set, and we are now ready for engine start. So let's make sure everything's okay. Parking brake is set, and the lever is on idle cutoff. All right, let's go ahead now and start the aircraft. We're going to go ahead and turn on the auxiliary fuel to the on position. We're going to make sure everything's okay here. Pressure is good. ITT is good. All's looking good. Let's go ahead and 2 seconds here for the starter. And we can go ahead and introduce fuel now. And we're just going to wait for NG to reach about 46%. All right, here we go. Flight idle. Now, one quick thing on the throttle, you need to set a button for, you need to program a thrust reverser on one of your joystick buttons or keyboard so that you can use it for taxi and reverse thrust. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Let me just show you which button I've used. So I've used this button here. If I go to my... So it's actually this button right here is the one I use for reverse thrust. All right. All right, so everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and turn all these guys to auto, generator to main. Everything else looks good here. And we're going to turn the nav lights on, taxi lights on, and let's see here. We need to turn the bleeds to auto, and we'll turn the air conditioning system. And we're going to come down here and make sure this is on GPS, and transponder is on. We'll put it on alt, and the code today is 2000. All right, all's looking good here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to depart runway 4. We're going to make a right turn and intercept the Sierra X-Ray Charlie, and from that point on the autopilot should take care of everything. So, oh, the flaps are not set correctly, so it's going to be actually 1 notch down for takeoff. I think I went too far. Okay, flaps set for takeoff, and what we're going to do now is we're going to reduce, where's the throttle? All right, taxi range. And we're going to go ahead and remove the chocks and release the parking brake, and we can now taxi to the runway. All right, inertial separation. We are now taxiing to runway 4, and everything is looking good. Really a very immersive aircraft, this TBM 900 by Hot Start. Probably the best general aviation aircraft ever created for X-Plane to date. Alright, let's see here. Alright, gonna make a return here. And we are now at runway 4, and we are ready for departure. So let's go ahead and just bring the aircraft to a complete stop here. Okay, so we're going to go landing lights on, pulse, strobes, everything else here is looking good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the RPM, beg your pardon, we're going to bring the torque to about 50%. We're then going to release the brakes, and we are going to rotate at about 90 knots. Now the rudder pedals are a bit touchy, but let's see what we can do. Flaps are set. There is no wind data. I wonder why. Okay, alright, let's go ahead and bring the props to flight range now, and prop to about 50, torque, beg your pardon, to about 50%. There we go. Release the parking brakes. Watch our speed, and we're going to rotate at 90 knots. 80, and rotate. Positive rate of climb, and gear is going up. The inertial separator needs to stay on until we pass 150 knots. And I'm going to begin our turn now. And we're going to increase the throttle now. Actually, we should have increased the throttle while we were rolling down the runway. So 50% torque, release the parking brake, and then we should have actually taken it to about 90, between 90 and 100%. But that was my bad. Alright, and we're just going to straighten out now, and we're going to continue our climb. Okay, at this point, we're going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot, and we're going to go to nav. Now the aircraft has taken over, and we're going to watch our speed now at about 150 knots. We're going to retract the flaps, and we can now turn off the inertial separator. Now when you turn off the inertial separator, you're going to watch the torque. It's going to increase. Just make sure that you don't make any adjustments while it's doing that. So we're going to turn off the inertial separator now, and you're going to watch the torque now increase. We're climbing to 13,000 feet. As you can see here, the torque is increasing now after we turned off the inertial separator. Off just a little bit on the throttle here. Alright folks, we just leveled off at 13,000 feet, which is our final cruising altitude for our flight today. We are at about 190 knots and about 59% of torque. Everything's looking good. By the way, X-Plane 11.3 Beta 1 has been released by Laminar Research, and this is a big thing for X-Plane. It is really a preparation for the Vulcan update. I've created also for you guys some photoreal textures of the Los Angeles area. It's a really nice area where we're going to actually cross Los Angeles. It's a very mountainous terrain. I think we're going to pass Santa Monica Airport. We're actually going to probably fly over it. But it should create for some very interesting scenery here as we approach the area. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight. I will check back with you in just a little while to check out the scenery in the Los Angeles area. Enjoy the flight. Welcome back, folks. We are flying over the Los Angeles area, and as you can see, the photoreal textures really create for a very convincing scene with this aircraft. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and switch to external view. Alright folks, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight. I'll probably capture a few more scenes as we approach the end of the mountains there, and then I will let you guys enjoy the flight, and we'll check back with you right before our descent and approach into Fresno, California. Enjoy the flight. Welcome back, folks. We are on our way to Fresno Yosemite International. We are about 22 nautical miles from Tango Tango Echo. We are at about 191 knots, 13,000 feet. Torque is about 60%. And I wanted to share a few thoughts with you reference to my first video. And first, this aircraft is by far the most sophisticated general aviation aircraft ever created for X-Plane 11, hands down. That's number one. And I think I mentioned that in my first video, but I guess some people had selective hearing. So with that said, I want to talk a little bit about the price, because a lot of people have complained about the price of this aircraft being overpriced. I personally don't think it's overpriced at all. In fact, I would have paid $10 more on top of the current price. So if the aircraft was priced at $75, I would have still paid for it, because I think it's definitely worthwhile. And my comparison when talking about the price was a Coronado aircraft at 34 with a reality expansion pack, additional 20, that's about $54. And this aircraft offers 10 times as much in terms of the features, the system simulation. Well, let me go ahead and turn on the panel lights now. Okay. What did I do? Oh, there we go. Let me see here. Yep, that's much better. So, so in terms of the price, I think it's definitely worth the price. And in terms of the system simulation, I think this aircraft is great. I really hope that this aircraft becomes the baseline for anything that comes after it in terms of aircraft for X-Plane 11. I think it really sets the bar way too high, and I honestly hope that we'll see more high-fidelity payware for X-Plane in the future. Another thing I want to say is I do want to thank each and every one of you guys who have posted a comment on my video. I fully respect everything that you guys have said, although a lot of you guys were very harsh. And the flight sim community is a very unforgiving community, I must tell you. It's something I have come to realize. But nevertheless, you know, all your comments are welcome. I've tried as much as possible to reply to all the comments and make it very clear that I was not trying to bring down the aircraft or anything like that. It's a great aircraft, and I said that in my first video as well. It's a brilliant aircraft. But again, my comments were not taken very well by some, and I fully respect that. And I hope in return people would also respect my personal opinion. And again, it remains to be a personal opinion. I do want to respond to one comment that was specifically troubling for me, because I spend an arm and a leg on this hobby, and I do my best to share it with you guys in a way that I feel will be useful for you. And the comment was that that this is probably you're giving this aircraft a bad review, which I did not, by the way, because you've paid for it. And if this was something from the X-Plane or store, you'd have given it a good review. First of all, I've created glowing reviews of many items from the X Aviation store. I paid for all my add-ons, the Galaxy G737, SkyMax Pro when it came out, with all the different add-ons that came with it, real weather connector and what have you. The Saab 340A by Leading Edge Simulations, a great aircraft, one of the best, I think, for X-Plane. If I were to compare it actually with this aircraft, they're very different aircraft, but I have a softer side for this aircraft than the Saab 340. Both are great aircraft, by the way. So I really, honestly, guys, I do say what I experience, and I let you guys be the judge of it. Another comment I received on another video was, this is an advertisement or a promotion disguised in a review. And I sometimes I really don't understand people. I don't understand these comments. There is nothing disguised in a video. It's a video. You watch the video. I try my best to show the good, the bad, and the ugly, and all the paper that I review on the channel. If you like what you see, you go and you buy it. If you don't, simply don't buy it. There's no pressure for you to go and buy something, and I'm definitely not going to come and beat you up if you don't buy it, or if you do buy it. So I really try to create content that is useful, informative, and insightful. And we are going to have to begin our descent momentarily. So I wanted to really share those words with you guys. Okay, so we are making our turn now, and we are now heading to Alta, which is our transition into Fresno. So I will begin the descent in approximately 20 nautical miles. What we will do is we will descend at 1,000 feet per minute. We're going to have to watch our speed, of course. Everything's looking good right now. We have crosswind, about 20 knot crosswind here, and 1 knot tailwind, I believe. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you guys enjoy the flight, and I will check back with you immediately before our top of descent. Alright, at this point, we're going to go ahead and reset our altitude to 1,800 feet, which is our platform altitude. Let's see here. Better do this. Yep, there we go. Alright, 1,800. The ILS frequency is already set, and what we're going to do is we're going to click here on vertical speed. Descent, let's see here, 1,000 feet per minute. Alright, and we're going to ease off there on the throttle to maintain our speed. I wonder what's going to happen with X-Vision once the new shaders from X-Plane 11.3 are introduced. I'm not sure if they were, if they're going to be able to to tweak those shaders. Hopefully, they don't have to. Alright, 180 knots, and we continue our descent. We continue our descent to our platform altitude of 1,800 feet. Everything's looking good. We are approximately 5-6 nautical miles from Alta, which is our transition into our approach for Fresno Yosemite, runway 29er right, and all's looking good, and speed looks like it's increasing, so let me go ahead and reduce throttle here. We just completed our turn into Alta. That's Fresno Yosemite in front of us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head back over here to the FMC, click on procedure, and we're going to select activate approach, enter. Alright, and the approach has now been activated, and we're almost at 1,800 feet. There we go, the runway is right ahead of us now. I'm going to begin reducing our speed. Looks like there is a crosswind, about 3 knot crosswind from the right.
$500.
Or too low.
Airspeed.
And touchdown. And we can now. Oh, come on. That's the reversers. Taxi range. Alright. We made it safely. We could have done better, I think. It's just the controls are pretty sensitive. Okay, let's reduce our speed. And we need to turn off these guys. There we go. Alright, here we go. Let's set the parking brake. And let's see here. The first thing we need to do is we need to turn off the AC. We're going to turn off the bleeds. We're going to turn off the inertial separator and the pitos. And now we're going to come up here, turn off the fuel selector, or the auxiliary fuel pump. That's also turned off. And what we're going to do now is we're going to kill the fuel. There we go. Turn off all the lights. And generator, battery. And we can actually turn this guy off as well. I'm going to come here and say shutdown. And it's shutting down now. And then we're going to come to and place the chocks. And we're going to go to, actually we have to wait for the engine to cool down before we can put the tie covers back on. But we can come here and make sure that we put all the the pitos and all the covers back on. Everything is there. This one's going to say, yeah, we'll set engine when the engine has cooled off. And now we can open all the doors. Welcome to Fresno Yosemite International. This pretty much brings our video to its conclusion. I sure do hope that you guys have enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comment section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.